Congressman Joe Walsh is a Republican from Illinois, and he joins me live from the Capitol. Mr. Walsh, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Martin. Congrats on the show.
Thank you very much. You're a freshman in this Congress. Are you satisfied that your first significant act in Washington will help bring the government to a standstill?
You know, absolutely. Republicans have been clear that we don't want to shut down government, and I think it's very impressive that we've sent a two-week budget over to the Democrats in the Senate to try to keep this dialogue going so that we can avoid shutting down government. But Martin, make no mistake, they sent us here to cut spending, and that's what's in this two-week CR.
Let's just sit for a moment on the cutting in spending. Isn't this the most disingenuous play on the American people? Because from Planned Parenthood to collective bargaining in Wisconsin, spending cuts is the excuse, but the real target, well, that's your political opponents.
No, you know what, Martin? Spending cuts are the real truth. That's why 87 Republican freshmen were sent to Washington. The Speaker alluded to it as a moral issue. It is a moral issue. Our country's broke, and that's because we're spending too much. We're on a path right now that's going to bankrupt our kids and our grandkids, and that's morally irresponsible. That's almost criminal to do to future generations. The Republicans are keeping their word, and we're systematically going to go at the spending problem.
You've said President Obama ought to be ashamed of himself for not dealing with entitlements in his budget. You say it's time to raise the retirement age and means test Social Security, but do you have support from Speaker John Boehner on those?
Absolutely. Look at Paul Ryan. Look at Paul Ryan to the north of me in Wisconsin. He has been a leader on this. He stuck his neck out last year and proposed reforms of Medicare and Social Security. Martin, I stand by those words. The president put out a budget a few weeks ago, and he should be ashamed of himself because he punted on entitlement reform. And everybody in this town knows that you've got to have a serious dialogue about Social Security and Medicare because that's where the bulk of the spending is. The Republicans are not going to be afraid to take the lead on this. And I think the American people are ready for that discussion.
Is it true that your own wife has decided to reject any kind of health care insurance at this time?
I pledged a year ago that if I were elected, I'd turn down all congressional health care and retirement benefits. I just don't believe as a member of Congress you should take those. I don't want to increase the federal footprint, no matter how much it costs. It means a lot to me. And my wife was with me every step of the way. She had a procedure last week, Martin. She did have a pre-existing condition. And like a lot of Americans, we are going to have to pay for that out of our own pocket.
And how did the procedure go, by the way?
Thank you. It went well, and she's recouping. Thank you.
And how much did it cost you?
You know, I don't want to get into that, but it's something I'm going to feel. It's going to take me a while to pay it off.
Okay, Congressman Joe Walsh of Illinois, thank you.
Martin, thank you.
And for more on the political ramifications of this budget battle,